West, who the Tea Party also loves you too. So, you know, we've gone over this part before, Congressman, about the fact that the Tea Party, are they racist or not? It's becoming abundantly clear that they're not, but they're still being accused of it. Why?
Well, greetings to you, Tom, and this is just about someone reaching for that final lifeline, because when you have so many failed policies coming out of the Obama administration, and definitely from the liberal progressive, being that their tax policies, regulatory policies, their monetary policies, they're looking for anything that they can grab on to try to keep themselves afloat in this sea of despair in which they find themselves. So when in doubt, you go right back to the same old thing, which is castigating people as being racist, but that's not working either.
I look at the success of Herman Cain long before he became a politician. He wasn't a politician, but he had so much success in life, just like you with your military career. Isn't this what Martin Luther King was trying to promote?
Yes, you're absolutely right. And as you know, I was born and raised in the inner city of Atlanta, Georgia, same neighborhood that Dr. King grew up in. As a matter of fact, my elementary school was across the street from Ebenezer Baptist Church, where he preached, and he's buried. So the thing is, he talked about content of character, not color of skin, and that's exactly what you see. America is a great land of opportunity. I think we have fought very hard to eradicate institutionalized racism, and you see many prominent people that are able to achieve great heights of success. And I think that you have to also understand, how can you continue to be the party that talks about folks being racist when you have an African American that is sitting in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and the black community were not the ones who put him there?
But is it one person at a time? Is it an Allen West, a Herman Cain? And we can go down the list of where more and more success of black Americans, it just absolutely ruins their argument.
Well, you're bringing out a very interesting juxtaposition. If you go back and you read Shelby Steele's book, White Guilt, what you're talking about are liberal progressives who really are threatened by strong black conservatives, because we don't represent that victimization or that sense of dependency upon government and these failed economic programs within the inner city that has resulted in unemployment being almost 17%, 20% for black adult males, and 45 to 46% for black teenagers. So as long as you are the accepted African American to the white liberal establishment, you're going to be fine. But if you tend to be one of those that have sought to get off of that 21st century economic plantation, then they're going to come after you pretty hard.
Back Herman Cain, one of the things I think is obvious to everybody is no matter what people throw at him, no matter whatever somebody calls him a name, he comes back and he doesn't play the victim card. He never plays the victim card. So how is it that and I don't think it has anything to do with the color of your skin. I just think some people like to play the victim.
Well, some people have gotten very comfortable in playing victim, and I think that that is what you see coming out of this administration, the desire to create more victims, to make more people dependent upon government, and therefore their base of support will continue to grow. When you look at the fact that you've got 47% of wage-earning households in America that are not paying federal income taxes, 48.5% of Americans are on some sort of government aid program, a 41% increase in food stamp recipients since President Obama took the reins in January of 2009. We're not creating victors in America, we are creating victims, and that is totally contrary to what this great country stands for, which is empowerment of the individual and not enslavement.
Yeah, but you brought up the numbers earlier about the high unemployment, and when you break it down by race, I'm sorry, Congressman, but, you know, black America, that experience is still full of not good economic success. There are a huge number of black Americans that are unemployed, and like you said, especially with teenagers. So what do you say to the young African American men and women, boys and girls that might be watching you, listening to you, about how do you break out of that? How do you empower yourself?
Well, I taught to them very simply the same as my parents taught to me. It is really about having individual responsibility and accountability. It is understanding that you take advantage of the opportunities to have a fantastic education, and you challenge yourself and not look at your color as being some type of crutch or relegating yourself to being in that victimization class. And I think that that's the message that truly of conservative principles and values that we have to get out there. because as long as government is creating more victims and making people more dependent, government has to grow. But when you talk about limited government, fiscally responsible government, that truly empowers the individual. We're talking about creating more opportunities for small businesses and rewarding people for their innovation, their ingenuity, and investment. And so those are the type of things that I would say, not just to young blacks in the United States of America, but to all people in the United States of America.
All right. Congressman Allen West, always good to see you. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.